I woke up really, and last night, just my mind would not shut off before I went to bed. Just the questions that I have and why, and I feel like I'm not alone in that. Just why, and how do we have that conversation with our children? And then where does it stop? And so many questions. And how do I just rationalize what's going on in my own head? I don't know. I don't know how to do that. All I know is I have to put all my trust and all my faith in God, that his thoughts are higher than mine. I will never understand it in this life. I just have to pray.
And when you have kids in school, I still have a middle school student, and you think about fear, and you think about protection and all that stuff. And I know that the only thing for me is that my hope is in God, and that God's going to be there no matter what. And I pray every single day for protection for schools, protection for kids, protection for our own lives. And one thing that really helped me yesterday, as I'm processing this along with you, is John 16:22. You'll probably hear us say this a lot today. But now is your time of grief. But I will see you again, and you will rejoice, and no one will take away your joy. We do have that comfort in him today. That's John 16, verse 22.
Rob and Liz,
his morning crew.
The question was, hey, is there like a weird place I can visit because I just moved here? I'm like, weird. Okay, what do you mean by weird? Because I know like strange town names.
Oh, sure.
Like there's Pumpkin Town, there's Lizard
Possum
Lick.
Kingdom.
There's a Possum Kingdom. And there's no possums or a kingdom for possums that's in this possum kingdom. I'm sure there's possums.
There's possums.
I've seen some on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, they taste good. Anyway, no, not roadkill. So I was I'm trying to go, okay, what would be a strange place? Is that Santa Park? That's in North Carolina, right? Going into the mountains, or is that Tennessee?
Right. That's in Tennessee.
Okay.
Just over the line, I think, yeah. There's the Cabbage Patch Hospital.
What's that?
That's in, where? Anyway, you take your Cabbage Patch doll if it gets messed up.
Really?
And
they were made in Georgia, so I would guess it was Georgia.
Yeah, it's Georgia, but I don't know exactly where. I've never been. I had a knockoff Cabbage Patch when I was a kid, but I did. So they may not allow me in. But you take your Cabbage Patch doll to get repaired, but they also have like a birthing tree for the Cabbage Patch.
Cabbage Patch?
Yeah, I think you pluck them off the tree or something like that.
Woo.
Again, I've never been there. It's just odd, but kids love it. I've never been, so I don't have firsthand the joy of it. But it must be something that's been there forever.
Cabbage Patch Hospital.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's
nice.
That's something different, I guess. I would say the Ark in Kentucky is different. Not weird, but some people think weird is different. The Ark.
I can get that.
Love that. But
if you've been there.
I haven't been there, but I want to take it.
Someone hyped it up so much for me, and my family went and visited. Yeah. You know how when you hear too much hype, you're like let down when you go? I wasn't let down.
Were you not?
It blew me away.
Because it's to scale. Right?
Yeah.
And so I can't even imagine.
And the detail that's on the inside. Wow. And they even have prehistoric animals in there, like dinosaurs and stuff, on the Ark. And they explain why. Yeah. And I can't get into that. Be here all morning if I tried to explain it all. But it's amazing.
And it's different. Obviously, you're not going to find an Ark, in every city. So that's something different, something odd. Yeah, I would love to know because I want to visit some of these places.
Rob and Liz,
his morning crew.
So we're hearing from Anna because we're wondering about places around here that is a little different. It's not something that you're used to seeing, especially if you're trying to find some places to go for summer vacation that's close because of these gas prices. 800-447-7234. Anna, what do you say?
Where I found out by accident is the Button Museum in Bishopville.
Oh, I heard about this one because there's like buttons everywhere. My first thought would be, is there shelves of buttons? No, there's buttons on toilets and sewn to toilets, and this guy had insomnia in the middle of the night, and so he decided, I'm just going to sew buttons on stuff. Yeah. And now it's a museum.
It helped him fall asleep, so that's pretty cool. When we were talking about the Cabbage Patch Hospital, I don't even know where that place is, but what's that? Yeah, it's a neat place, maybe to visit if you have a kid that has a Cabbage Patch doll.
There's an open mic, I think, that addresses that from the My HISRadio app.
Hi, this is Robin from Summerville, South Carolina, and the Cabbage Patch Hospital is in Helen, Georgia. My husband and I go to Helen, Georgia, probably about twice every year. Love you guys.
That sounds like an interesting place.
I like Helen, Georgia. Been there. I did not know that the Cabbage Patch Hospital was there.
Tubing and a Cabbage Patch Hospital all in the same place.
I know. So it's a destination. Sherry has been to the Cabbage Patch Hospital, and she said they do repairs on the dolls, on some of them, but then some of them have to stay for a little while. They have to get admitted. But they also put on a show for the kids. Her husband was not as impressed with the Cabbage Patch Hospital as she, and I guess the daughters were. So
I get you, buddy.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Gabriella and Juliana wanted to do something so special for the woman in their lives for Mother's Day. This woman, her name's Becky. She'd been in their lives for about the last 10 or 12 years or so. She had actually been the mother figure in their family. She had come in about, like I say, 10 to 12 years ago, married their dad, known as their stepmom. Even during the wedding ceremony between their mom and dad, she had vows for the girls. They're twins.
Oh, that's sweet.
I know. Had vows specifically for the kids. So just a couple of weeks ago, this past Mother's Day, Gabriella, Juliana said, okay, we've got a big question to ask you. And they had it all laid out in a book. This is on TikTok. They've got this video. It's been sent by tens of millions of people already. But they asked her to use the name mom instead of stepmom to legally adopt them. They're 20 now, but she's going to legally adopt them. So they don't ever have to deal with the question of, is that your stepmom? Nope, it's just my mom.
That is beautiful.
It's so
in their
sweet.
20s. And
yes. And she's been part of their lives, for the last 10 or 12 years and has made such an impact that these girls, I can't even try to put myself in Becky, the mom's place, to have that question and the responsibility that goes with that is incredible.
That's wild. And can you imagine all those days during the teenage years and while they were growing up, she's asking herself, am I even making a difference? Am I being a good mom?
Yeah.
And then she gets this.
You get your answer.
Oh.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Big movie premiere. Big movie is opening this week. It's Maverick. So it's the sequel to Top Gun from, back in the day. So in England, they premiered the movie a little ahead of when it's going to premiere here in the States. So this was the other day. Tom Cruise made a big mistake walking the red carpet.
How do you walk. How do you make a mistake on a red carpet?
Well, he was walking with the future king and queen of England. So that's Prince William and Duchess Kate Middleton. And so they're walking along. And as they got to the stairs, Kate's wearing this long, gorgeous, formal dress. And Tom was actually being chivalrous. He puts his hand out to help her up the stairs. And as she takes his hand, because she wasn't going to be like, what are you doing? She took his hand, but her face completely changed as though, what am I going to do here? How am I going to fix this? She takes the clutch, her handbag that she has in her other hand. When she gets to the top of the stairs, she moves it over to the hand that he touched.
Okay,
He's not supposed to touch her. They're the royal
family. You can't help somebody go upstairs?
Her husband should have in this situation. But I think Tom just jumped. I've always heard he's very gentlemanly, in cases like this. But he's not. No one is supposed to touch the royal family. I don't know why. I guess you shouldn't touch anyone without permission.
People.
But they are just people.
They're people.
He's
helping some lady go upstairs.
Right. As much as I love hearing and finding out and reading about the royal family, they're just people.
Yeah.
My goodness. And so, it was a royal faux pas mistake that they say.
What did you say?
Guffaw.
What is that?
Like a
that
mistake.
Sounds like a mustard.
What?
Good. Can I have some gray guffaw?
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
have to say we're kind of moving in the right direction as far as the baby formula. I heard there was another shipment that came in this morning or is coming in this week. It says Morning Crew with Rob and Lizz, his radio.
Yeah, like 76,000 pounds
another
of baby
one, though.
formula.
Yeah,
On top of that, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Benji owns a restaurant out in Texas. It's called Our Place in Mansfield. And he heard about this whole baby formula thing. He goes, what can I do? I own a restaurant. Can I do anything? Can I make the baby formula? What he wound up doing was he called his suppliers that help him, at the restaurant for the food. He was able to get 6 cases of formula. He thought, okay, I'm just going to give 1 bottle or 1 case, whatever you call it, container, a can away to a family, as long as I still have them here at the restaurant. And so he shared it on Facebook. They went real quickly, so he bought more.
Oh,
so he could help out
good.
more families, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So one of those containers, depending on how big it was, it could last possibly a week or 2. It's been a while since I've had a child on formula, but I think, if it's a big enough container, so.
Her kids are
awesome.
like teenagers. They better be off formula.
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
Have the big Memorial Day weekend coming up, and so there's a possibility that you might be at a backyard barbecue or 2 and somebody bossing the burgers when they cook them. It's Rob and Lizz, his morning crew on his radio, and I don't know if you know anybody that really makes a great hamburger. It's down to an art for them.
For some people, yes. And sometimes it's the seasoning and sometimes it's the toppings or everything's super fresh or
It's something, yeah. I can't make a great burger. I burn toast. It's horrible.
I do okay, but I don't get super fancy. When I go out to a restaurant, I have had the one where you crack the egg and it just oozes all over it's so good.
So Heinz, the ketchup
Yeah.
and Heinz 57, and I think they even make their own mustard.
Oh, they make
They
everything.
make a lot of condiments,
Relish.
right?
Yeah.
So they have this art of a burger contest that's going on, and so they're going to give $25,000 to somebody who has a great burger recipe. And they say, okay, visualize every burger is a blank canvas. Of course, they're going to want their own product on it.
Oh, well, of course.
So think that if you're going to try to win the $25,000 or know somebody who will. But I just start thinking about people who know how to make burgers and make them great. My son does pretty good, Spencer.
Oh, does he really?
Oh, yeah.
Is it with the toppings or does he season it with something
He
special?
seasons it with something. I have no idea.
My son, Luke, likes to put paprika on things like hamburgers and steak. It just brings a little smoky element to it. He's a good cook, so I might have him.
I heard a good recipe.
What's that?
It's 2 all-beef patties. There's special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onion, and it's on a sesame seed bun.
Is it? Could you say that again?
No?
Rob and Lizz.
His morning crew.
I think I found the real-life Wonder Woman. Seriously, her name is Sylvia. She's a grandma. She has 4 grandchildren. She's 70 years old, and she is training 2 hours a day because she has a goal in mind. And the goal is to fill the food pantry at the church that she is the pastor of. She's at the Epps Christian Center in Pensacola. She wants to raise money for food because they have about 60,000 pounds of food to go out a month from that church. And they help out 7,000 people a month.
So is she training so that she can, when all the food's donated, she can lift it and take it?
It's been tough times. So she is going to climb Mount Kilimanjaro to help fight hunger.
Oh.
Seriously. So she's got a GoFundMe page. Her goal is $25,000 so far on her GoFundMe. She's at $3,500. So in middle of June, we're talking, I think 3 weeks from now, she's going to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. Now, here's the thing. She trains 2 hours a day at Planet Fitness in Pensacola. She is there. She's a rock. Everybody loves Sylvia. So Planet Fitness is, hey, can we help?
Oh, yeah.
So they gave her $20,000.
They gave her $20,000?
Yeah.
Okay.
$20,000. They presented it to her on Good Morning America.
That is pretty cool.
And they're outside some containers where they have a lot of this food for the people in her community. 60,000 pounds of food. That's amazing.
Think about what she's doing. So she's taking care of her own health at 70 years old, 2 hours a day working out. What?
It's a beast.
Yeah, and then taking care of her community as well, making sure everybody's fed. Yes, Sylvia, I aspire to be like you.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
These things ate me up over the weekend.
Are you talking about the mosquitoes?
Oh, my
I know they're
goodness.
out, aren't they?
Already.
Yeah, and we're
Feasting.
not even Memorial Day weekend, and they're out. And I'm like, well, we've had some rain. In my backyard, I don't know what it is, but there's this one spot where there's the standing water, you know?
And that is just there like,
Yeah, I'm telling you, the mosquitoes are there. So I'm thinking, what in the world? There's got to be something you can have outside. And there seems to be a lot. I mean, I Googled, and then Amazon has all these mosquito things. Like, you can have, like, over your, I don't know if you have a big umbrella on your deck or anything like that. I've seen some of these. And with the umbrella, you can put a mosquito net on it and sit underneath it with your chairs comfortably with a big table and everything.
seems weird.
It does.
Like
but
you're-
if you have problems with mosquitoes,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
it's like, hey, I'll try it, you know? There's one that looks like a dome that you can bring with you.
Oh, like an
Camping
igloo
and stuff.
kind of thing?
I don't know if you want to call it an igloo, but it's
Okay.
more like a dome. And then they have these diffusers. I never heard of a mosquito diffuser. You know those essential oil
Oh.
things you have in your home?
That's exactly what I was going to say. And then
Yeah.
you put it in the diffuser?
No. It's you hang it on like a planter thing that you would hang plants on outside.
Okay.
And then it's in a little net kind of thing. It looks like a big egg, and then it puts out the diffusing oils or whatnot.
And they just don't like it. They don't like the smell of it.
Evidently.
It runs them off.
It's lavender. It puts me to sleep.
I've only ever used, like, is it a citronella candle? And they just, to me, don't seem to work unless you're sitting right beside
You have to hold it
the
on your
candle.
lap.
Kind of. And then that's counterproductive.
Right? It just doesn't do well. And then I've seen these things like in the standing water, there's mosquito dunks. And they look like a little donut kind of thing, and you just throw them in the standing water, and it's supposed to help. I don't know that much about it, except for they call it mosquito dunks because you dunk it in the water.
That's so weird. So do the mosquito, because all I can see in my head is the mosquitoes are kind of hanging out like it's a lounging type situation.
Yeah.
Where they're loving that, and then they don't bother you because they're having too much fun in the standing water.
Probably.